Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the swamp. Welcome, my lovely, lovely friends, Diana and Valerie, who I'm so excited to have on today. I hope y'all like the new intro.
I
That's
love.
that was a gift from someone who that was his previous occupation was doing stuff like that. And we were talking one day, and I was bitching about I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to make my own intro. And he's like, "Well, send me what you got, and I'll look at it and give you some pointers." And I said, "Okay." And that's what he sent me back. And I was like, "Okay, dude, that's like way over the top."
That's beautiful. That's
Um,
beautiful.
I was so tickled with that. He was like, "Oh, it's just a thank you for all the help you've given me." So
Mm.
um, I was really, really humbled. I mean, I was just like, "Wow, I can't believe you did that." And so when we got to work on music of it because YouTube keeps hitting me with copyright share for the music. I
Yeah.
don't get dinged for it, but I have to share anything that I make on the videos. So, and he emailed me today. He's like, "You shouldn't have to be doing that. I have the license for that." I'm like, "Well, I'm just telling you what YouTube said." So I sent him what YouTube said, and
Mhm.
we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
What happens next? So, um,
But it's beautiful for sure.
and
It
I
is.
loved it. I was really tickled, and so I want to try to crop it down into something shorter and maybe put some more like spookier sounding music on it to do for the end. You
Mm.
know, good
Beautiful.
Like,
night.
give,
You know, from the
like
swamp. So
give it the swampy feel.
Swampy
yeah,
feel.
I had a
A
lot of
little
people ask me
Cajun
why I
background.
didn't use. I had a lot of people ask me why I didn't use Cajun music, and I said, well, we didn't really think about it.
Zydeco.
And then, I don't know. I don't know what's available. I would have to. I mean, I kind of grew up with Cajun music, but I couldn't tell you one artist from another. You know,
No, because they all sound the same.
they
But
they all sound the same.
if you just look up Zydeco, it,
Yeah, well, you've got Zydeco music and you got Cajun music. They're very similar,
Mm.
but they're different.
yeah, but at least
And
get one of them that's close. And
that's it.
don't
So I
keep.
just have to go shopping around and see if I find something I like. And um, I have a little interlude that my son wrote for me way back when I first started my channel. It's about, I think it's like a 30-second clip.
I
And
remember.
he programmed it all on his computer. And it's like all violins and stuff with
Mm.
night swamp sounds in
Oh,
Yeah.
the background, like crickets and frogs and all that stuff.
I
And
remember
yeah,
that.
I used to use that way back
Yeah.
when.
I
And
remember it too.
so I'm like, maybe I can incorporate that into a closeout or something. And he took that piece and he actually wrote a whole song, but he changed it up. It's not that eerie ethereal sound now. It's more of a pump up, and a
Mhm.
dance. He decided that he likes Cajun music because now that he works at a club, he hears a lot more of the bands that come in and play, and there's some regular Cajun bands that come play.
Awesome.
And it took a little while for it to kind of grow on him, and then he decided I really like this music, so he bought a fiddle, and so now he's teaching himself how to play the fiddle, and
Ah, cool.
Awesome.
yeah,
That is cool. That is, I mean, everything's available to us now. We get to follow our hearts, and we're good. I think.
that's it. As far as I'm concerned, I just have to plug in and play what somebody else has because I don't play any instruments.
I
Mm.
play the words myself.
And I know when he was little and people would say, "Oh, well, what do you play?" I play the stereo and I'm very good at it. I can turn those stations right in. Um,
Oh
but
my
well,
goodness.
hello everybody. We got us a room full of people already. Wow,
Yeah,
Woo!
so
Thank
and
good.
you.
all kinds of folks here today. And we're going to talk about whatever these lovely ladies want to talk about, whatever um,
Mm.
astrological stuff they want to cover, because just in the few minutes backstage, they were hitting me with, well, now we're into this and we're going into that and this and this and the other. And I'm like, oh, I can't even remember that to just ask questions.
We'll make
And
it.
we'll be glad to answer questions for you too. I've
Yeah.
got Oracle decks out, and
Yeah.
they've got their stuff that they do, and
Yeah. Yeah.
my pendulum fired up, ready
Yeah.
to go, and
Got all kinds of stuff.
that's
Yeah.
it. So I will start off with you, Miss Diana. What you got going on? What's coming
Well,
up?
can
Tell
I
us
give a little plug?
You can plug whatever you want.
Get away.
The book
Ooh.
is out.
Oh,
Gail,
yay!
and I have done the artwork for it. And she has just handed me the end of book 2.
Nice.
It takes several
Ooh.
months to come out because I still have to do all the artwork, but then you have to go through all the steps with publishing. So it'll take a little while,
Right.
but I'm
Right.
making
That is
myself packed.
awesome.
I've got to work every day, some way or another, to get these photos, to get these paintings done. I'm doing it in watercolor.
Very.
Oh, I love watercolors. I love watercolor painting.
And they were just on today. You were on Gail's channel. Weren't you on Gail's channel today?
Well, we were on Terry's, but we were streaming.
Oh, Terry's. Okay.
Okay. And
About the book. Talking about the book.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I will add a link to that to the description box after the show for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me write it down so I don't forget.
Gail and I started this journey in 2022.
It's been a while. Yeah.
I saw this cute little accent on Nancy Jean's talking about things that sounded very familiar to me. And so I had Nancy pass my phone number on to her and tell her to call me. I'll help her with that. And so here we are. It's been a long
This is just, this is so
done.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. And I will go in, and it's on Amazon, right? I will go in and add the link to the description box so y'all can go in and purchase and buy that book.
It's on Kindle as well. So if you're, if you prefer Kindle, you can get it on Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. And I assume eventually it'll go to Audible. It seems like everything does after a while.
Well, I think if you've got Audible, don't quote me, but I think if you've got Audible, whatever's on Kindle is available. But I usually get older books, so don't quote me.
Yeah, it's with newer books. Usually it'll come out in print, then they'll put it into Kindle, and then usually a couple of months will go by and they'll release it in Audible. It just kind of depends. I mean, if it's somebody like Stephen King, it's going to come out with everything day one. Boom, it's all right there available. So it just depends on, I guess, how famous you are. What kind of crowd you're going to draw,
knowing what your record for sales is probably
exactly. So they, moneymaker. We can definitely push him. So all right. Well, Miss Valerie, that's up to you now.
Hi,
what's up with you?
Oh, well, I'm always in astrology. We're in an eclipse portal. We're going towards the second one. And I'm getting a lot of calls and emails about what's wrong with the energy? What's going on? And this is a release. We're like in the deepest part of the release. And this is probably the most potent eclipse portal we've had in a few years. I thought last year was going to be intense, but this seems a lot more, doesn't it, Diana? It seems a little more deeper. And go ahead.
Number 9. Number 9.
Number 9. That's
it
important.
Is 2025 is a 9 year.
That was in the Beatles album, wasn't it? Yeah.
Done.
And then that,
number 9.
and the 999 is September.
Yeah.
September is we're in a 9 year, so we're really releasing. This is why it's so much more powerful feeling. And when I say release, we all have stuff in us, pain, trauma, blocks, could be anything. That things that'll just come up out of nowhere. Why is that coming up? What's going on? So it's good to just to see it, acknowledge it, thank it, send it on its way. I know that's not always that easy a lot of the times, but it's powerful, because the next eclipse is a partial solar eclipse on the 21st. The day after that is the fall equinox. So that partial solar eclipse is a last degree of Virgo, 29 degrees. And that's a powerful degree to manifest, because what Virgo is asking us to release is any unworthiness, anything that we're very critical of ourselves, or maybe even others or other things, and knowing that we are perfectly imperfect. There is no perfection. And I think
that's the truth.
That's kind of the hard thing that we all have to release and allow it to go. And once we do that, that next eclipse will help us. Well, what do you want to build? Now that you made space in your energy field, what do you want to create? Where do you want to go? That's really what we're being asked by Spirit. And Spirit is also saying, the outside world, especially politically, they're trying to take our attention constantly and really lower our frequency, lower how, give us that fear and drama and trauma and things like that. Well, I keep getting, what kind of world do you want to live in? Focus on creating that world. And that's what we're doing, because the outside world, the political world, our old world is, it's being destroyed. There's no other way to say it. But at the same time, we're rebuilding the new era that's coming in.
Yeah.
Around February.
Right. Well, February 13th will be the solar eclipse. The sun will be in Pisces, and that will be the first eclipse. And forgive me, I've forgotten if it's solar or lunar, but one way or the other. The next one will be the opposite. So they come in pairs like that. And so what we are experiencing now is at 29 degrees, as Valerie said, another closing. We're closing out the month of September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if we also take into consideration that 2 plus 9 reduces to an 11.
Yes.
We don't reduce the 11. It's a portal.
Yes.
So we are entering this new portal, and we will see a better glimpse of it, better glimpse of what our dreams are, this critical time that we're in right now because we're in Virgo. Then when we see the Pisces dream try to reshape itself, when we have this, and then also we will have Neptune and Saturn getting ready to go back into Aries, because they will no longer be in retrograde. So in this going forward, we'll have a better grip on what the new boundary and foundation is going to be, which is what Saturn is going to represent. And they will be conjunct. Neptune and Saturn will have a point where they're conjunct, closer than they are now, as close to as close exact as it can be. And then the Neptune will begin to say, okay, here's the new cove, here's the new shoreline. Now we just have to learn how to navigate without losing too much of our own holy self.
Absolutely. Love that. Yeah, so they'll come together. Neptune and Saturn are what are bringing in the new era. We all say we're ascending, we're raising in frequency, that type of thing. That's kind of really where I think it begins, but by no means will we be fully there. and that'll be on the 20th of February. So we're going to have this eclipse on the 17th of February. That's going to that'll be another clear date. You know, what do you want to bring into that new era is really what we're being asked. And with Neptune is spirit, right? It's our dreams, it's ability to imagine, you know, because you have to use your imagination and dream to create your reality. And Saturn helps you make that reality physical. Yeah. So together, which they never, what was it, 900 years? They weren't even together in Aries, but they had been together 900 years ago. This is really, we've never seen it on Earth. So this is big for humanity. Even though it looks like everything is just a big mess, it really is clearing it out so we can create a better world.
And that's what's coming up in February, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean,
yeah, my son's birthday is in February. He's February 3rd. And
so we have Uranus conjunct Sedna at 1 degree of Gemini, and Uranus is retrograde. And then we also have Chiron in Aries retrograde. And because Sedna represents adaptation and sacrifice, her father sacrificed her to save himself. So she had a choice to make. I can go down in this ocean and drown, or I can become the queen of the ocean. So she chose to reshape herself. Her own shape shifting, her fingers and toes became all the fishes of the sea. And then in this realm of Chiron, we are now dealing with the things that we haven't been able to heal, be they physical or emotional. And that is putting us in a shape where right now, before we begin this new journey, with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction going into and both going forward and remaining in Aries. Now, Saturn will go farther ahead, but that's okay, because Saturn is going to, you know, make a pathway for our dreams and realities. Does it happen?
So the new alignment coming up in February, we've not had that kind of alignment in 900 years.
Oh, really more, because it wasn't in the sign of Aries. Right. And what Diana was talking about was, oh geez, my mind just went squirrel brain on me. I'm sorry.
Well, healing ourselves.
You went over there somewhere. It'll come back.
This is healing our chronic wounds. Sedna in herself let go of her father, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have churnings inside that go, why? Because now, as the story continues, what happens is her father goes home and begins to feel guilty. So once a year, he comes to the shore and she comes on shore to see him. But they only speak once a year.
Well, there are some people that would be once too much, but
in some way, that's why she's like, okay, Dad, this is what you did. But because you're my father and I was raised to respect my elders, my parents, I'll come and talk to you, but don't expect anything else from me. And then here's Chiron with this wound that he can't heal, which is exactly what she goes through when she has to come and see, because it turns it all up again. Here comes that tempest. Here comes that storm.
Because a lot of times to start fresh, you got to stir up all the old to get rid of what doesn't work. So that's kind of what I've been feeling this past year with all the craziness, political and world events and everything going on. Is it feels like everything's been tossed in a blender and it's going around, and we're going to see what comes out at the end. So
and isn't it funny when you stand in the ocean and you dig your feet in a little bit and you got all this sand on top and you start walking out of there playing a game with yourself. And what do you have? You still have the silt stuck in between the grooves on your toes, right?
Yeah.
And the knuckles on the top and all of those little tiny bones, those 800 bones that are in your feet or whatever it is. So it's still there, and the silt is the hardest thing to get rid of, and
And
it'll turn
that's
into
where we're at, right?
right.
That's where we're at.
It'll turn into algae.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
this whole time from now until then, and it's going to constantly continue. I don't know if we ever really heal or clear things. It's just always something comes up for release. But this whole time, this fall, winter, is for us to go in deeper and further and allow ourselves to be guided by our teams. Our teams are there helping us heal and helping us find our new way forward. But we gotta shed a lot, and the shedding is, I mean, it's really bad out in the political world. That I think is holding us all in this, like we're holding our breath, we're waiting for the shoe to drop, right? Everybody's feeling
Yeah.
that. When's it going to happen? And what the F, or whatever. And here they're saying, yes, that is going on, to be witness, but not to entangle yourself in that. And how we all know how hard that is. It's more about focusing in on yourself, but you can't help but look at who runs our nation and not think it's not going to affect you personally, or you guys, or my neighbors, or whoever. So it's hard. This isn't an easy release period, is what I'm trying to say. I do think it's going to be flipped over soon out there. I do believe things are going to come in to give us a little relief, but we're just going to have to keep going through this, sludging through the mud. Sorry,
Yeah.
Diana, go ahead.
No, well, it's we have this beautiful kazami between the sun and Mercury, which is normally a good luck day. Everybody's happy and cheerful. But what have we done? We've been racing around crazy. I've been but the Schumann resonance yesterday was off the charts, and the solar flares affect me a lot because of autoimmune issues. And so many of us here, just by being empaths, we feel this and we don't even recognize it. So we have this beautiful grand trine in water in the sky and a top of a kite to go with it. So we have this whole great big kite in there, and the release point is this Uranus and Sedna conjunction, which is the top of the kite, which is the smaller triangle, right?
Right.
And so when we look at this, if we can just go and once an hour say, thank you, I'm grateful for, and it can be that there's still toilet paper on the roll.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I'm at the point where I'm thankful for, they have delivery service now at just about every store in town. And it's worth the extra $5 or $10 to have them bring it to me than me having to go out and fight the traffic and fight the crowds and try to stand in line and make my back hurt because I'm standing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I know. I can click. This is what I want. Bring it to me. It's like the most wonderful invention we've ever finally come up with.
It isn't.
And we have COVID to thank for that. So
yeah. And so much, there's so much that we can look at and say, oh my gosh, thank you for that. I mean, stuff comes to our doors, and we could be grateful. Like Diana said, even if you have toilet paper on the toilet roll, I mean, it's seriously, that's going to those gratitude moments are going to get us through those really harsh moments, because we're going to, we're seeing a lot of shady things and a lot of dishonesty, and it's hard because most of us here realize the truth of what's going on there, because we're psychic. We can see and understand things on another layer,
right? So
most of what I've been telling my all of my folks whenever I do my daily political readings at lunch every day and everything, and I tell them, look, it's going to get worse, but in the end, we win.
Yes.
Keep that thought in mind. We will get through it, and it will get better, because eventually it's going to swing back the other direction.
Exactly.
But I said, but in the meantime, you just gotta dig in and hang on. And I said, instead of gripe and moan about everything that's bad, I said, start speaking out about what you want to see instead. You know.
Yes.
And
And
I said, because enough people speak it, and we manifest that into existence.
that's right.
And I mean, there's always little setbacks, right? And
Oh, absolutely.
That's just because what the transits are doing, which is everybody's under that. It relates to what's in your chart.
Yeah,
Chart
let's say that to them, Diana. Okay, here's a astrology chart. This is an eclipse, but it could have any of your names on it. You are all of these pieces of the pie, and you have all the signs in you somewhere. You're just not your sun sign.
Right.
You're just not your moon sign. You're just not your. And so, say my sun sign is hitting this moon today. That's gonna clearly trigger something in me. It could be good, it could be bad. But like Diana was talking about a minute ago, we had the sun and Mercury right next to each other today. That means the sun is the big guy, right? And every time they go near each other, any of the planets, they're upgrading each other. They get more information on the next part of the path. The sun is the big guy. He's upgrading Mercury. Here, now go tell everybody this because he's the fastest, right? We are going on, and we probably will get a lot of downloads today, or maybe some good news. You know,
we have to, because we have the Merkaba, we have the Star of David here. We have mystic rectangles going in this direction, horizon.
Oh, yeah, we sure do.
Okay, and we have one coming in. I'm backwards, so I don't know where I'm at. This way, right? No.
Two triangles, one going down, one going up.
Well, and but I'm looking at the mystic rectangles because there's some. I have to look at it. Sorry, guys. There's some going.
Well, in those aspects, okay,
but you can see them.
They're good aspects. Yeah.
And the minute you said Star David, I saw it. I mean, he was like, oh, yeah, I see that.
Right? See it? So they overlap. So that means that they are conjunct. Like we have Pluto conjunct Palais Athena, who's the brain. Pluto's at 1 degree. Palais Athena is at 1 degree of Aquarius. And we also have parts Fortune, which changes by the hour. So at one point, that Pluto gave you some extreme wisdom about how to go about this. And that parts Fortune is an Arabic point that moves quickly. And there's a lot of Arabic points, but that one in particular, folks pay attention to because it is the blessing in disguise. The time the left turn you take is the mistake you didn't make because it's the accident that you avoided when you went that way, So that things like that end up being a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
And so
we don't know,
Right. The Merkaba is considered the Star of David, right? And then we have those mystic rectangles as well in there. So this should be a magical day. So we need to look at it as, in spite of the sandpaper that we are all feeling, we have to look at it as this is a blessing in disguise day.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we're definitely going to hear something that's possibly in a good news from the outside world, from the political circus going on, and
especially looking at that
yesterday.
That was all yesterday. Today is the other end, this end. This is today. And now it's night in Tomsk, Russia. So that's why it's all black. So I'm sorry. This is right here. I'm looking at this backwards, everybody. Excuse me. So even though it was calmer, it was itchy. It was all what's going on inside of me, not just what's going on inside of me and the whole world.
Yeah, it was it was tough yesterday. You feel those, and the more that you are like, you feel like there's electricity running through you. That's how I know it's a solar flare or it's the Schumann. And we all react differently to everything,
Oh
right?
yeah, we all feel that.
Yeah, and when you do, you just kind of put your hand on your heart, take some breaths, because it is overwhelming. I mean, we all have PTSD from the last 10 years. I mean, there's no, what they've done to the nation on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. But we're going to start hearing good news, and I think this one is really going to, what's happening today, start helping that off. Um, it's going to slowly get better. Then it's been pretty bad. Last 9 months, especially, just bad.
Yeah.
But
Gloria
here,
agrees.
yeah,
Gloria.
but we also have, like you said, Sherry, we also have a lot of control, not control, but what we accept as our thoughts, our beliefs, and are we going to be pissed or are we going to be happy? You know what I mean? Or you get to make that choice in every moment. And every moment doesn't have to be, oh, I'm so happy or I'm so excited, but at least be a neutral observer. And you know, when I see something really bad, I just send love to it, bless it, and just keep going. There's nothing I can do to change anything from sitting where I'm at, other than be uh, bless it, be love on some level. It's not easy, but it is going to get easier. And that, oh, sure, I know what it was when you tell when you explain to the people you're reading for that things aren't always going to be like this. That's true, and then that aspect, Neptune and Saturn in February, is really going to start that. I think we're going to see better news before February, but that's really a starting point. That is a new era. That is all new for humanity. We are creating a new way of being, but the old has got to die. It just,
And the old tends to hang on for dear life to
yeah.
keep in power and keep going. And so that's what makes it hard. I think to my way of feeling anyway is you're watching the old with death grip on everything, trying to hold on to it, while at the same time you're trying to pull the new in, and there's going to be conflict. There's going to be a lot of crossing there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know one of the things I try to tell everybody every day is look for one little nugget of hope. Anything that you can focus your mind on to be hopeful for, and then just hold on to that all day, no matter how bad it gets.
Mhm.
And God knows we've all been watching all the craziness and screaming at the TV and shaking our fists in the air and going, when is this madness going to end?
Mhm.
But it's gotta, I've always felt like it has to work its way through everyone for everyone to kind of wake up and say, wait a minute, what are we doing to ourselves?
Yeah. I mean, we are at a
It
choice.
doesn't make any sense when you think about it. It's
Right.
like,
No. And we are at a choice point, and that's all bringing it to us. We got two choices: fear or love.
yeah,
Fear, you know. And if I choose in that moment to go into fear, okay, well, I choose to face that fear. But I usually try to just stay neutral, work my way through whatever emotion I'm feeling and do the best I can. None of us are perfect, and we're all in this together. This is why I love our community so much and the people that are in here, because we all are supporting each other. We're helping each other remember who we are, and we're walking each other home. That's how I look at it. So I know in this community, and there's many communities like it that are just growing and growing and growing, because everyone really wants to live in peace. There's just a small group that don't, you know,
Yeah.
and they seem to have the money and the power at the moment.
At the moment.
yeah, it's, and I know it gets discouraging. I mean, um, I do a daily affirmation every morning. simple. You know, I get cards. I can read the card, and then I don't look at the card until I'm reading it on air. You know, and then that way it's just my immediate reaction, what comes to me, and sometimes it can make me go off on a rant for 10 minutes, and sometimes I'm lucky if it lasts a minute. It just depends on what's flowing in that moment. But the one thing I keep trying to tell everybody is just hold on to your hope. Yes, it's going to get darker, and yes, it's going to get a lot harder, but we're going to win in the end. It's going to flip back around. I had Hogarth on last week, and he was talking about the North Nodes and how they have met back around, but they're upside down. So everything is topsy-turvy. And it's not until they come back around again that they'll be back right side up. I'm like, well, that would explain why I feel like everything's upside down and inside out. You know, and he's like, yeah.
And, you know, they spent 18 months in one sign. So it's going to be a few years before that flip comes around.
Right.
Well, and that North Node, right, in Pisces, that Diana's talking about, that the nodes are very powerful. If you want to release, we have Virgo at the South Node, and you can't. Virgo is the healer of the zodiac, and they control the digestive system.
Right.
Like, eliminate it, seriously, eliminate it, let it go. But that Pisces North Node is where we're going. Pisces, like I said, represents spirit, ultimately. Of course, it has its lower, you know, everything has its higher and lower attributes. But it's the North Node showing us where to go. In this case, it's like, go with the dream, go with the imagination, create a new way forward. I mean, it's all in the astrology, and we are, you know, I'm not saying astrology is everything, all that, but it really does contribute to how we all live on some level. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And they're always talking. Oh, well,
exactly.
Yeah. So we still have the sun in conjunction with the South Node. South Node's at 18 degrees. Now the sun has gone a little bit past that, at 21, but they were conjunct a couple of days ago at that 18 degrees. And that sun is showing you, this is Virgo. She is lighting up what no longer serves your purpose, which is the representation of that South Node. This is your past life, whether it's something you're looking at right now as we're breathing in this physical form, or one of your past lives where history is now repeating itself. What did you do back then? Think about it.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then we have that, what would be the same conjunction would be with that South Node, you know, Neptune's at 1 degree of Aries, Saturn is at 29 degrees. Well, it's 10 degrees apart, but they're kind of like what I call parallel, right? And the nodes move clockwise, which right now Saturn is moving clockwise because he's retrograde. So they're moving in the same direction, but they're both moving slow. The South Node is faster. Sooner or later, they will be conjunct. I haven't looked as to when, but when they are, here comes the clearing. It'll probably be around the time that Saturn's going direct. And it's like, oh, here we go. Now we have a way out. There's not so many willy pads here that we're going to catch our propellers in the roots and stems.
Right. Oh, cool. Okay. The
nodes are very important. To me, it's the fourth. Like, I look at it as the rising sign, the sun, the moon, and then the nodes. And the nodes are your polar axis. They are always the same degree opposite each other. Now, knowing this about yourself, they are opposite, but I always call it a conjunction at a distance, because who are you going to fight? There's only one person you're fighting when you're doing that. It's yourself.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have to know and have to find your state of balance, right?
Yeah. I
Mhm.
know
Equally warm.
it's like I'm a Gemini sun, an Aquarius moon, and an Aries rising.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so I don't know what the nodes are,
I have
but
your chart. I don't know if I
you
have.
do have my chart. Yes, you do, because
Yeah,
you
I
did it
do.
a while
I'll let
back.
you know.
Um,
I'll send you a text on that. I'll remind you. Um, so I look at it as your rising sign. That the rising sign is you as your intimate, you know? And
okay.
as a Gemini, especially, we get to know people pretty easily. We befriend people pretty easily. It's even hard for us to unfriend somebody
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
we're so willing,
that's
right?
very true.
Right. And so your Aquarius humanitarian is the one taking over. What is our rising sign? It's the moment the doc spanks you on the butt. You take your first breath and you open your eyes. That's what it represents. So that is
Mhm.
your first intimate core because, first of all, you just got your behind paddled, but you're going to bond with your mother.
Yeah.
So that is your very first intimate relationship. And then the sun sign is important because, okay, this is how we behave on a day-to-day basis when we go to work, when we function amongst other people. That doesn't mean that these things don't work together, but it's kind of like it's if you take the Briggs-Myers test, the Briggs-Myers test is your sun, your rising, your moon, and the node because you get them 4
Okay.
letters and that tells you everything, right? And then your moon is the emotion. Well, let's say that the printer broke while you're at work and you're trying very hard to hold it back and you can't, you have to let it go because your moon is in Scorpio. Not that yours is, but anybody, right? And that Scorpio is so mad because now he can't finish the project and blah, 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 blah. And he'll start dwelling on that
Yeah.
until he can find a deep breath and find a way
Mhm.
his north node. What is the direction to take to get out of this attitude?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's all in every moment, right? But if you can find your north node, look at your north node. That's your way forward. If you'd like a reading, Diana and I both do readings separately or together.
Yeah.
We'd love we'd love to read charts. But it's
And you
important.
do very good readings too, I can attest. So,
It's a very important time to get a reading too. It's just what are you releasing and what are you creating? And if we could just keep it down to the core of the issue, then you have more understanding of where your next best step is. You know, it's there's a lot going on. It is, and it's almost well, it is. It's almost impossible to you know kind of pinpoint things. Even I know the astrology, and I'm just like most days, I'm just letting it flow. Because if I sit here and go, oh well, if I look, I don't even look at my chart. Maybe once a month.
I know. I forget the stuff that's in my chart sometimes,
Me
right?
too. But you know, it's not like you got to be that serious about it, where you're checking your chart every day and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But if you could get a few months forecast, kind of understanding of which way the energies are really
are flowing for you. Yeah.
flowing for you, yeah, and where they're not, you know, because that's a good thing to know too, you know.
Yeah.
So, but
Absolutely.
yeah, it's
Should I stay or should I go?
it's
Yeah.
right. It's
I just had that song in my head. Um,
Yeah.
but
The
so
one I
yeah,
can't get
so
rid of is Valerie too. We're both singing Lunatic Fringe.
lunatic fringe for days. It
Yeah.
won't leave
Oh
my
my God.
head.
Right?
But it's okay. I listened to it 3 times today, and it's still in my head. So something in there. Did you read the words, Diana? Oh my
Oh
gosh!
yeah. Of
It's like
course.
exactly what's going on in the world. It's so crazy. Anyway,
Well, and you know, I'm at Home Depot today, and you know what was in my head? Don't surround yourself with yourself. Get on back to squares. But yes, your album, the very
I
first,
haven't heard that song in a
yeah,
long time.
it's been
Wow.
a
and
long time since I've
oh,
heard
feel
that
it,
one.
right?
Yeah.
And the White Queen moves so fast, she can't. Oh my God, it couldn't get it out of my head.
And then this is that eclipse that's coming up. My God, the astrology on that day. It is just every planet is in play somewhere. I mean, they usually always are, but they're such. I mean, we've never been here before. I don't even know how to put words to it. We have all outer planets at 1 degree. And they're
Yeah.
all
I've
retrograde.
heard a lot of people talking about we've got this unbelievable lineup of all these planets lining up
Yeah.
together, and we've never seen that before in
So
our
many.
lifetimes or in many, many, many lifetimes. And I don't know exactly when that's supposed to happen, but to me it feels like an event like that would create some kind of really grand, tumultuous event,
Well,
something that would kind of ring the bells, and everybody's like, "Oh,
yeah,
wait a minute," you know.
yeah.
Um,
And that's what we keep thinking. Then we have the eclipse, not the eclipse, I'm sorry, what's it called? The oh my God, the comet coming through. That's got lights on it. And I mean, you can't,
It ain't a comet.
no, it's not a comet. And it's driving its own it's driving itself. It's just crazy. So what does that mean? You know, and it's going to come closest to Mars. I think it's October 3rd. But still,
But
I heard it.
The 21st through the 29th is the big time to watch, because then it's going to be between Earth is going to be on this side. Here's the sun. Here's the comet. Here's Mars. All of that. So
Atlas. That's it.
the thing is this thing is burning up the sun, and the sun is already burning up itself, because look at these solar flares, X-class flares. So that sun gives us gamma rays and X-rays, and they come off as protons. But as they come through the ionization belt, which can be in 3 different layers, it isn't just one layer, it undulates. So it can, once it's
keep talking, I gotta go let the cat in.
okay, so once it starts hitting that ionization, it starts to change. Now they're ionized. What happens with ionization? That's what messes with our DNA. That's what makes people with autoimmune disease hurt more. That's what makes empaths have this ringing in their ear. Hello, anybody else have that ringing in your ear continuously?
My ears ring all the time, but that's from an injury.
No, and it's not right. And you go to the doctor and they say, well, you don't have tinnitus. Well, I got something, because they won't shut up.
Well, when I got my back and my neck hurt back in '99, my jaw got dislocated.
Oh.
And once they kind of put me back together, my ears ring 24/7. They never stop. And it's been like that since 1999 when I got hurt. And so when I hear a lot of people talking about, well, you're getting to download, your ears are ringing. And I'm like, well, geez, it must be nonstop for me, because the ringing never stops. It gets so loud. There are times when, like in the early evening when I'm sitting out on the patio, I have to ask someone else, are the crickets chirping or is it my ears? Because I can't tell if it's an outside noise or if it's my inside noise that I'm hearing, you know? And so that's kind of weird when you think about it. But my son will just laugh at me and say, no, Mom, it's the crickets. You're not going crazy yet. I'm like, okay. But it sounds just like it, so I can't tell the difference sometimes.
And
good night, Clarence. Haven't seen you for a while, so good night, Clarence.
Hi, Clarence.
Hi, Clarence.
And the sun it is a gaseous body. Connie's saying something, it doesn't burn. It shoots protons, neutrons, neutrinos, electrons, and it is, they shoot right at the Earth or out into space, wherever that sun is out there. So it's doing something out there. I mean, we can gauge it, we can track it,
Well, and guess what? Mr. BBB just had a drop down that said something just snuck out from behind the sun and it's headed towards Earth. Now what?
Wow. Yeah, because this is like this time period is epic. I mean, we're living in history. We're living in unprecedented history. There's so many.
Yeah.
Diana and I could tell you aspect after aspect that has never happened or has happened 1,000+ years ago, and just in the last couple of years, which you never saw astrology do that before 2020. It started really just ramping up, and then um, the solar flares, the comets, you can just go on and on. Mother Earth is raising in frequency. She's got a heartbeat that they monitor called the Schumann resonance, and it spiked up to, it's usually 7 hertz. It spiked up to, what was it yesterday? 34 or 72. I don't even know. It's like
Wow.
so high.
Let me look right back.
And we are, all of those frequencies, vibrations, and resonance that affect us. We're all frequency. We're all energy, and we're
Well,
all
it is right. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
It filled up
all the way down.
all
Mhm.
that white light, all that white noise, all that.
Mhm. Mhm. And it does, and that's how you can gauge your your disposition for the day, literally, by that. And if so we pay attention to that stuff every day. We know when a solar flare goes off, and usually when a solar flare goes off, an earthquake or a volcano might do something, whether it's just
We've had a lot of earthquakes and a lot of volcano eruptions
know,
in the last, 6 months or so,
Well,
or
and that
year with volcanoes, but with earthquakes, it's been like
between the flares,
5.0 and
Schumann.
up.
mhm.
the flares, the Schumann, and Uranus.
Uranus, lovely
Because
Uranus.
Uranus is the earthquake. Uranus is that light moment that strikes, right?
And you can
Okay.
handle that. You have Aquarius moon, right, Sherry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uranus
Oh,
rules
sorry.
Aquarius, and when you have, Aquarius isn't easy to get used to, but we all have it somewhere, or Uranus is somewhere, and it's the only planet that rotates on its side. It's totally different color. It's a light purple compared to everybody else. It's just really interesting. It's outside the box anyway, which
Right.
is, he's an innovator. He thinks outside the box. We're going into the age of Aquarius. Oh, I know, I was going to say earlier that in many ancient texts, this time period is written as going into the golden age. They called it the golden age back then. But I say it, a lot of us say it's ascension. And all that is we're raising in frequency. We're elevating, we're evolving. It's not like
Right.
we're jumping off the planet or something. We're just going in higher frequency, where those lower frequencies cannot, if you're not and the only real way to get to a higher frequency is to be an authentic being
Right.
in truth. And if you're not, so all that lower frequency that's playing out, if they can't raise in frequency because they are not authentic, it's not, they're not heart-centered, soul-centered. It's it's almost impossible to explain, but that is what it's a love. We're heart-centered, soul-centered. We're about unconditional love and truth.
Right.
We've lived many, many lifetimes in that density of hate and division. And it's time, there's a big group of us, billions of us, that want to rise up and go into a higher dimension,
Right. So the other planets are spinning this way with just their day to day, right? Earth takes
Yeah.
24 hours to make a rotation. So they're spinning, spinning, spinning. And what's Uranus doing? You guys, you've had it all wrong. Come on, we're going into the age of Aquarius. You need to hit your tires on the pavement, man.
True. It's crazy to watch. It is really crazy to watch. And then next year, after the nodes change every year and a half. Right now, it's Pisces North Node, Virgo South Node. And the South Node is real, what a lot of that South Node is what we're keeping. What did we master of Virgo? Virgo's got a lot of good qualities. Every sign does. Well, next year, this is where I
And my
really
brother's
see,
a Virgo. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, they're very detail oriented. They got a lot of good
Oh yeah.
qualities. Yeah. And
Very analytical.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
And if
and that is your Mercury, because Mercury also rules Virgo.
right,
So Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and the two things really work together. So when the sun is in Virgo, we don't, us who have Mercury and Gemini, don't always have to go, oh my God, now what? I have to rip out everything that I just knitted.
Finish doing. Yeah.
Right, your concentration is a little bit risen anyway. You're going to do this, right? You only have time to do it once, and so you go at it like that. And you're analytical that way as well, just by being a Gemini, because of that Mercury being your sign's ruler.
and
Yeah.
and like I said, everybody has Virgo somewhere, and that is the part of us that helps us align our life. It takes this many steps to do this thing. That's that part of us that can really make lists and take things, take care of business, things like that. But
Right.
that next year, when we change nodes, it's going to go into Aquarius. The North Node is going to go into Aquarius. To me, that's when we really enter the age of Aquarius. Like, that's kind of where we've been in the, like, kind of just hanging at the doorway as we're leaving.
Because we've been singing about the dawning of the age of Aquarius since the 60s.
Right?
Everybody's
Yeah.
like, come on, when is it going to get here? So, yeah.
And it's important. It's really important because, okay, Pluto's in Aquarius right now. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was during the American Revolution, French Revolution. That's significant. That's how significant that was. And we were still in the age of Pisces back then. So Pluto's in Aquarius now. As we go into Aquarius, it's going to be, and Pluto does demand authenticity. You have to be real. You can't, no more of this lying, faking, dividing, all the distortion, right? Because that's what
Oh,
the
wouldn't that be
old world,
nice?
wouldn't it? I mean, it's all that old world is just full of distortion, and the only way to get ahead is to step on each other, and that whole mentality. It's got to go. I mean, this is what I'm saying. When I'm hearing, when you visualize the new earth, the new era, my new earth doesn't have stuff like that in it. It's like everybody's in peace and harmony, and you're doing what you love, and things are rolling smoothly. I think everybody is there. If given a chance and everybody could utilize what their passion was, the world would be,
No, we would be a much happier world. I mean,
wouldn't it?
if we could follow, because you look at people who just, that 9 to 5, doing something they hate with
Hey,
every bone in their body, and they are miserable, and they make everyone around them miserable.
yeah.
But then you meet somebody who's actually doing what they're passionate about, whether if it's music or art or accounting or, whatever, and their whole being just resonates differently. You can feel the difference in that energy.
Yeah.
And if you're in the room with them, if you're working with that person, that energy starts getting your energy revved up. Before you know it, you're like pumped and ready to go yourself. And it's
That's a good point, because we vibe off each other.
yeah.
And when you see somebody vibing that high, it helps you come up higher, and and that helps somebody else, and then that person helps somebody else, and just it's really cool. But we've been purposely suppressed. In my opinion, we've been purposely suppressed, and disinformation is everywhere. They know how to heal most of these diseases going on, and they don't.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No money in it. But we've been taught over and over, no, you have to be a doctor because your father's a doctor.
Mm.
You can't just do what you want to do. But there is, in reality, no reason why your calling cannot be your career.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's like my brother teaches high school math in a small farming community where probably 95% of his students all work on a farm, live on a farm. All they know is farming. And so they don't see themselves beyond being a farmer, you know? Now, I work at the university and I managed to get him hooked up with some of the professors that do the big science preview days and stuff, like with engineering and whatnot. And so when they have these big preview days for high schoolers to come in, he's able to bring his kids over to talk to the students, the different faculty and whatnot, as he puts it, to let you know you have options.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you're going to stay as farmer, but you're going to be a hell of a lot smarter at farming than someone that doesn't have an education, you know. And it's watching that spark in their eyes when they realize, oh, I could do that and not destroy the family legacy of being the farmer. I mean, you know, it's little things like that that we, as we teach our children, our grandchildren, our students, whatever, to open and expand their view, to look outside the box and to say, I can do better than this, or I do have a passion for that. My son did IT work and stuff for years. He was very good at it, hated it with every fiber of his being. And when he finally got back into music, got hired as a sound engineer at one of the clubs, and started playing his music again, his whole being changed from it because he was now doing what was his passion. It was like when I sat down and I never knew what my purpose was until the first time I sat down with a deck of cards. And it was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. I mean, it was just that definitive for me, you know. And if it hadn't been for Angela Cartomancy Mesquite, who knows how long it would have taken before I discovered that. Because she's the one that was like, you know, you're a reader, right? You know, you're supposed to be reading cards, right? And I'm like, I don't even own cards. She's like, yeah, I'm going to send you some, which she did. And then I'm like, okay, now what do I do?
Oh, man.
And, you know, so
can I ask for prayer for Angela, because
she's bad. Yeah.
She has been moved from the hospital into a nursing facility, unhappy there. And so we're working to get her moved. So if everybody could take a minute sometime tonight and just vibe everything you can for her to be put in a better place that will give her the physical therapy and the medication that she needs, right? She needs lots of antibiotics right now. So
yeah, because the last time I talked to her, she had just gotten out of the hospital and was back home and was hoping that was it. She didn't have to go back again. And then somebody told me, no, she's back in the hospital. So
there's something brewing, and it's been brewing for a while since that surgery in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So at any rate, you know, we all have these moments where we just feel like, oh my God, what's going on? Who's got control of my life? I'm not willing for this. And Angela's a Virgo. You know, she's not willing to have somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
She's a Scorpio moon, if I remember correctly. Angela, listening, I love you. You know it.
She has Scorpio rising. Scorpio rising. Yeah, she does not
send her big love every day. So
most of us.
Anytime anybody asks me about, well, how did you start doing this? I'm like, because of her. She was the one that started it on me about, you know, you're this. You know, you're supposed to do this. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I don't think so. She's like, oh no, I think so.
That was when
So,
we
you
were
know,
all in the same practice group too, wasn't it? Well, that's a long time ago.
yeah, yeah, we were. In the beginning there, I think I got in like right at the tail end before the group kind of stopped meeting. But that's how I met you, and
Yeah.
that's how I met Angela and a couple of others. And then it
Valerie
wasn't
too
too
there.
Valerie, yeah. Um, and
That's a while ago, huh? Yeah. It was.
yeah, yeah, we're talking a while back. I mean, that's
Mhm.
5 years ago, 5+ years ago.
Mhm.
Oh
So,
yeah.
um,
COVID days.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, because
Brought a
it
lot
was
of us
just
together, and I'm so glad that we had
that's
this.
how I found this community because we went into
Right.
lockdown,
Yeah.
sent home, and I was like, okay, now what am I supposed to do? I mean, fortunately, I was able to keep my job, so I kept getting paid, but there were a lot of people around me that was not happening for them. I was
Mhm.
every day I was like, oh, thank God I still have a job. Or we would have been on the streets. I mean, it just,
Mhm.
and that happened to a lot of people, which was really sad.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, this community saved me. I had just lost my mother. We were in lockdown.
I
Nobody knew what was happening, and I
I
was not in
remember
a good
that.
place emotionally, psychically, physically. I was coming apart at the seams and stumbled into these wonderful people. It was like, these people can't be real. Nobody acts like this with everybody all the time.
Mhm.
It took me
Yeah.
a while to realize, okay, they are really like this. I like this. I want to stay with these people. So,
Mhm.
Um, Denise is asking if I would lead that prayer that I love to do so much. If
oh,
before we say,
absolutely.
before we say goodbye.
Yeah, because we've been here an hour and 7 minutes, and I don't want to abuse y'all's time because we want them to come back and
Yeah,
explain
I'll be
more when
glad to
more
come
stuff
back, and
happens.
I know my partner will be glad to come back with me.
Yay.
Absolutely.
Come
So,
visit with us too,
well, why don't we just close out? Diana will do her prayer. We will
Sharon.
say good night for now. I'm sorry we weren't able to get to questions today, but the slumber parties at 10 o'clock tonight, 10
Oh.
o'clock Central. Come back tonight. Your question will get answered. So,
And maybe
Aw.
next time, think about your questions, and we'll work towards answering some.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, yeah. You can always, when we post the show, you can always put your questions in the comments below the posting
Mhm.
so that we know to look it up
There
and
you
be
go.
ready. Because what they're doing is not something spur of the moment. You got to have a little time to kind of look all that stuff up
Oh
and
yeah,
figure it out.
especially if it
Mhm.
pertains to your chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, thank y'all, and we're just going to close out with prayer, and we will see everybody soon.
Okay, so let us clear ourselves and get comfortable. And we're going to start with 3 deep breaths. Hold at the top and exhale with your mouth open. Please place us in a steady stream of divine white light, the white light of divine guidance and divine grace. Michael, wrap your blue bubble of protection around us that shrinks to fit as we step into the healing teal green orb of Raphael that floats and shares and spreads and transfers. The divine white light, the white light of divine guidance and divine grace. Please keep Angela in a safe place, regaining her strength and finding her way back to her animals and to us and anyone here that has health issues. emotional issues, loss, suffering, homelessness. Please protect and help us all. So mote it be. Amen.
Good night, y'all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.